Okay, as the players ride in, we have the Australian side. As we line up for the Australian side, it'll be the number 1 for the women's, Lucy Grills, the number 2, Lauren Silito, the number 3, Beth Hafey. Suzette Thomas will spend the first chucker on the pine. For the men's in the Australian side, it'll be the number 1, Jim Grills, the number 2, Will Weston, the number 3, Lance Anderson, and Abbott Grills will spend a bit of time on the bench for the first half. For the Vic women's, looks like we're going to have, it'll be Kim Templeton, the number 2 will be Cass Milady, and the number 3 out the back will be Kelly Allen. Umpires sorting themselves out. It'll be umpire Geordie Tate and Jimmy Forbes. So the players line up. Here they are, the first game of the test match in 2019. The ball goes in, bounce off the 2s, the 3s. It'll go groundward. Who wants it? It'll be the number 1 in Lucy Grills. Heads to that 30-yard line. Bounce, trap, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. First one on the board for the green and gold. That'll give us a scoreline of 1 goal plays 0 in favour of the Oz side. Far side of the field now. Ball goes in. It's plucked out of there by the number 3. I think that might be Beth Hafey there. Pass goes out. What a pass it was too. As Grills out there in front like a good one should be. Hit that 30-yard line like it was and wasn't even there. Bounce, traps, shoots. Goal number 2 for the Aussie side. So the Aussie side not mucking around at all. First 2 on the board. The Vics really need yet to get off the blocks here. There's umpire Tate in control. Bounces off the 1s. It's down in front. Who can see it? Grills can. She runs the sideline. Puts that 30-yard line. Will it come up? Vics all around her. Under pressure too. But umpire Tate pulls them up. And he said that'll go to the green and golds. And they'll march them up to the front end of the front of the D. Where it'll be Lucy Grills, not mucking around at all. Puts it high and straight over the top. And that'll give the Aussies goal number 3. So if you're back at camp, I'd suggest you make your way down here, because this is the Oz versus Vics test match. The ball's gone out the back. This scrum, this is what we like to see. Has Kelly Allen, the number 3. Kelly Allen, the number 3. Put under a load of pressure there from the Aussie side. And umpire Geordie Tate has blown the whistle. She has carried the ball over the centre line of her horse. And therefore, it'll be the number 1 for the Oz side in Lucy Grills. Grills will take the 10-yard throw from the spot where umpire Tate marches. And coming through, Cass Milady says, I might have that one. But umpire Geordie Tate overrules it and says, no, you won't. Or marches down to the 30-yard line in the goal-scoring area for the Australian side. Once again, Lucy Grills will take the 10-yard throw. Couldn't handle the bounce, though. It'll come up. Yes, it will. Back in centre field. Takes the bounce. In come their defence from the Victorians. But it's Grills. Look at the little chestnut pony go with a duck to the right. Heads for that 30-yard line, dances around all of them. Bounce went down. Look at that pony. Knows where the lines are, I might add. As she goes through, cops one for her efforts, but it's Grills with a low pass and a side flick that rolls straight through, and the flags go up. What'll put it 4 goals, plays 0. The Victorians yet to get off the ground here on the main field, on the Olympus horse feed field in the Ballarat Carnival 2019. Umpire Geordie Tate. He'll start him off once again at the scorer's end of the field. Lines up. Oh, Lucy Grills, she barely got back there. Didn't even have time to wait. Snapped the ball up, drove around the front. Said, thank you very much. And that'll put them into 5-goal lead in favour of the green and golds. Righto, ball goes in, it's gone out the back. So three's their scrum and neither of them wanted it. No, that three did. That three for the green and gold in Beth Hafey. Hafey, she took it. She's taken on Kimmy Temp. She's given it 1, 2, unloaded it, but the pass was too early. And the pass went out to Grills. Grills couldn't quite handle it though, and that sideline has beaten him. Or the back line, I should say, and therefore it will be. We'll just wait on umpire Tate's call. Looks like he's going to throw it into both players, the 1 and the 3. So umpire Geordie Tate will line the 1 and the 3 up. Ball goes out the back. It'll be Grills. She'll feed first onto it. Yes, she will. Checks up before the 30-yard line. Ducks left, shimmies right. Dances around Kelly Allen like she wasn't even there. And that'll put him in front by 6 goals.
We just need Huey Radford and Blake Radford on the top field, please. Huey Radford and Blake Radford, you're set to umpire on the top field. The red one, I do believe.
Back here in the action on the Olympus feed. Horse feed field. Ball goes out the back. Who's it going to be? The green and gold. The blues. Yeah, it won't. Cass Milady with an offside pickup, if you don't mind. Cops a bit for her effort, so it'll sit there in front for it. No, it won't. It'll go on the ground. Horses ticked it along. It's going to sit out there for the number 1 for the Aussies. Lucy Grills. Grills, she can see it. Hard pressed by the Victorians. Can they get one to her? 1, 2. No, they couldn't. Now she's marked up in centre field, sitting right at the front of the tees. It's Grills in control of the game. She's holding that little white ball and she's looking to make her way down into the goal scoring area. Ducks and D's out of traffic. She indicates left, goes right. No, she doesn't. Bounce over the 30-yard line. Unkind bounce. Good enough to hang on to it. Applies the picks. Dances around. Turns into the racket. Here it comes. Lines up. And there it is. That's the end of the first chuck. We need the ambulance up in the top field, please.
We have the ambulance up to the top field. We need the ambulance up to the top field, please. As soon as possible.
Please stop all game. Please stop all game.
So just a bit of time off on the main field here as we've had an injury on another field. But that's the end of the first chukker on the Australian versus Victoria game here on the blue field. And that will be a 5-goal lead in favour of the green and gold. 7-goal lead in favour of the green and gold. Okay, so it looks like for the men's team, the Aussie squad, we're going to line up with Jim Grills, Will Weston and Lance Anderson. For the Vicks, it's going to be Elliot Avis, the number 2. Here's Dan Pullier, and out the back will be Sammy Cook. The Aussies have a look at him, the 1, 2, 3. They've seen it all as Jim Grills, he takes that ball, bounce over the 30-yard line. And that's it. I tell you what, the Victorians on the sideline here, they need to liven up a bit. These Vicks, they need to lift. They're 8 goals down. That's an 8-goal lead in favour of the green and golds as we line up on the far side of the field. Umpire Jimmy Forbes, second chucker. Aussie test match. Ball's gone in. It's out the back. Sammy Cook, he's the first one. Just what the Vicks needed. Dan Pullier comes through. So it's Sammy Cook in control on the baldy-faced pony. He's going to run the sidelines. No, coming through. And it's a whistle on play. Time off called by umpire Geordie Tate. And we'll just await the umpire's decision there. A bit of time off by Sam Cook fixes. He's done a stirrup iron there coming through traffic. The hazard lights were on, but the baldy-faced pony said, I'm going out here. as the call is from umpire Geordie Tate, it'll be a Victorian ball down to the goal scoring end of the Victorians. I do believe one of the Aussie squad might have been done for loitering there. We'll just await the call from umpire Geordie Tate. The ball has gone in the favour of the Blues, as I think maybe the number one for Australia, Jim Grills, might have been stopped on the spot there, and therefore the ball will fall into the racket of the goal-scoring number one for Victoria in Elliot Avis, sorry. So Avis, the number one for the Vicks, looking for first blood on the board. Come on, the Victorians, who's behind him? There it is, flags go up, straight through the uprights. The Blues are on the board. Okay, so they're on the board now. As we line up, scores into the field. Ball goes in, Jimmy Grills. He said all day, baby, all day. Snapped out the front, ducked out of traffic there. The Blue defence. Lance Anderson comes through to take one. Couldn't quite get one, though. He's got his number two in Will Weston. He takes one. Jets all Grills, though. Hard pressed over the 30-yard line. Bounce trap. That sharpshooter racket. We got a whistle on play, but he's going to throw the goal anyway. Advantage has been paid, and that'll put him in front by 8 goals. 9 goals. No, 8. 9 plays, 1 is a score. Aussies lead by 8 goals. Second chukker of the Vicks versus Oz test. So far side of the field. Ball goes in, it's bounced off the twos. It'll sit there for that man once again with a sharpshooter racket in Jim Grills. Plenty of pace. He doesn't fear fifth gear, the young lad, as he fires that through. And that'll put goal number 10 for the Aussie side. So that's 2 in favour of the number one Jim Grills in the snaps competition. Elliot Avis really needs to make something happen here. He doesn't want Grills to get another ball up the front. Vicks can't afford that to happen. As umpire Geordie Tate, he lines them up. Grills comes in, the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, they're set, but they're not happy with it. As umpire Tate will call them back. Umpire Tate has called it a bad throw, and he's going to throw it into all 6 players once again at the top of the tee. Umpire has the ball. Starter's hands, ball's gone in. Elliot Avis had that one in his racket. Let it go. It'll sit there for Grills. Grills able to shimmy it back to that man in the number 3 shirt for the green and gold in Lance Anderson. Anderson runs the gauntlet, puts a long pass out in front of Grills. It'll sit. Yes, it will. But that umpire in Geordie Tate, he's right there on the scene of the crime, and he's called a carried over the 30-yard line. So that'll be a blue Victorian ball from the spot where umpire Tate says. So the number 3 in Sam Cook. He takes a 10-yard throw, little lobbed out to himself, dodges around the number 1 in Grills. In come the Aussies defence. He's caught up in traffic, lefts and rights. They're going everywhere, but the baldy-faced pony, he's seen the space. And Sammy Cook still in control. Will Weston trying to get a crack at the racket. He's in more pressure than Darren Ware in the tribunal. Ball's been unloaded, hit the ground. It'll sit there for the 1s and 3s. Anderson, yes, it will. The number 3 for the Aussies in Lance Anderson comes up with it with his pretty brow band. That's that man Anderson. Bounce goes down over the 30-yard line. He's seen it once, twice. The long pass out to Grills in front like a good one should be. And he's got nothing but grass in front of him. And that'll sit there for goal number 11 in favour of the Aussie side. So the Aussies just coming through with that one. Vicks couldn't quite get it. Sammy Cook under too much pressure there. The ball's gone in. It's bounced off the 3s. It'll sit in front for Grills. Will it? The offside pickup. No, it won't. No, Avis didn't want it either. Anderson, though, he's seen it, the number 3. He put that high, long pass out to Grills on the lead with a bit of South African action there, and that'll put it straight through the uprights. For goal number 12, that'll put him in front by 11. So the scoreline of 1 goal plays 12. in favour of the green and gold in the second chukker of this test match. Elliot Avis up the front, looking for a catch. Just what the Vicks needed. No, he couldn't quite get it. It'll set there. Yes, oh, the hit down comes through. The confusion from the Vic side there. So the confusion's been put on as opinions come from everywhere all over the field as umpires Geordie Tate and Jimmy Forbes, as time off has been called by the Australian captain. So I do believe a hit down was indicated by umpire Geordie Tate, so therefore the Australian captain in Lance Anderson, he'll take the 10-yard throw. He takes control, dials it out to himself. He cops some serious attack from young Avis there, but too good on this occasion is that man Anderson. He lets the Black Bay horse run, gives him his head, looks up, find Grills. No, pass not on. It's Anderson still in control. Finds Grills now. Yes, he does, but that's time. Time has beaten him. That's the end of the second chukker with Aussies way out in front with a scoreline of 12 goals, plays 11 at the end of the second chukker. So to be the number 1, Lucy Grills. The number 2, Lauren Silliter, and the number 3, Suzette Thomas. Ball goes in and snapped out of there by that number 2 for the Aussie side in Lauren Silliter. So it's Silliter who's still in control. As she's got the ball in the centre field, little lady on the chestnut pony. Ducks left, shimmies right, dances around the pack, looks to link up with the number 1 in Lucy Grills riding the paint horse, the Indian horse as she turns around. She's in control. The number 1, Lucy Grills, playing on borrowed horses. All these players out here in the Aussie side. 30-yard line comes, bounce goes down, unconscious. The paint horse couldn't quite get there. Scoring area, Aussie side, with Kelly Allen on the horse with the fires on. She will come up with it. And the number 3 for Victoria. In control, Kelly Allen, 30-yard line, got a little better bounce, but Lucy Grills comes through with the steal. Holy moly, you're seeing it here right in front of the crowd too. As Lucy Grills on the paint horse, and she wheels that pony around. 30-yard line comes up, no, door slam shut, looking for a road in there. Can't quite get off the highway just yet. It's little Lucy Grills in centre field, finds some traffic now. Allen not quite throwing anything at her just yet. She's kept that one reserved. I'm pretty sure she'll have one in the barrel though. Lucy Grills not too keen on taking on the stick. And she gets the paint horse around. Tight flick goes up. Cops wood, but still too good. And that'll put goal number 13 on the board in favour of the green and gold. So the far side of the field in front of the Westag sign. Umpire Jimmy Forbes puts the ball in. It's gone way out the back. Who will it be? Allen or Thomas? It'll be Thomas. Suzette Thomas, the number 3, riding on for the Aussies. It's Suzette Thomas. Ducks left, shimmies right, dances around Kim Templeton. Does so nicely, puts her on a non-racket side. We have our number 2, Lauren Silliter, taking Cass Milady out, making a one-on-one contest. Dodges around the traffic. Nicely done there by Thomas. Pass went out. Grills couldn't handle it. The Buckskin, the paint horse, he's seen it though. It's back out in the centre field. It'll sit there. No one wants it. Still on the ground. Who's fighting for it? I think it might have bounced in the area. So we have a whistle on play by the umpire, Jimmy Forbes. He said, unlucky for Cassie Milady. I think her horse might have kicked the ball in the area is the call from umpire Forbes. And then that number 1 Australia in Lucy Grills take the 10-yard throw from the spot where umpire Forbes said she bounced, came up nicely. Now she plays that cat and mouse game with Kelly Allen. The South African rolls through with the South African throw, and that's been waved all clear, as that's proved pretty popular with the Aussies, that South African throw. We've seen her brother Jimmy Grills pull one out of the bag earlier on. And that'll put goal number 14. The Vicks are in some serious trouble at the moment as they only have 1 goal on the board. As the ball's gone in, and it's gone groundward. It'll say for Lauren Silito. Cops some stick for her attention. Looks for Grills, out in open space. Suzette Thomas, she can come up with it. Yes, she can. In come the blue defence. Cass Milady, Kim Temp, they come through. Lauren Silito taking one out of the equation. Nice bit of number 2 work there, I might add. Pass out to Grills. Quite handle it though. Pass has gone groundward. Wouldn't want to make that mistake come April. But for that, it'll be Kelly Allen, the number 3 for the Vicks, in control as she comes up riding the bay horse. Hard pressed there by Grills. It's Kelly Allen in control. Pass on, looks up, finds Kimmy Temp. Kim Templeton couldn't quite handle it though. Good enough to get it on the second attempt. Looks out in front, sees nothing but grass. Hard pressed by Suzette Thomas. Bounce went down. She's good enough to get it. That'll put goal number 2 on the board for the Vicks. And Kimmy Templeton, nicely done. Couldn't quite handle the pass, but good enough to get it on the second attempt. Looked up and seen nothing but goals in front of her. Head for that 30-yard line. Got a good bounce. And there's not much the number 3 in Suzette Thomas could do there. That is goal number 2 in favour of the Vicks. Ball's gone in, bounce off the 2s. It'll sit there in the Victorian side, but it looks like the green and golds, no, they've put it on the ground, it's still on the ground. Which girl wants it? The girls, no, they're still on the ground. It looks like it might be a blue racket. Kelly Allen, she's come up with it, stuck in traffic there, can't quite get moving. Hit second, third, no, yeah, find space. Oh, snapped out of nowhere, Lauren Celito, 1, 2, got her on the third and unloaded it, so that'll sit. It's still in play. Umpire Jimmy Forbes, he's right there on the scene of the crime. Ball's gone groundward. Who wants it more? The whistle comes on now, and that means a chop action has been indicated by umpire Forbes. So therefore, the call will be a free goal, I think. A free goal in favour of Australia. Not what the Victorians needed. They'll push Australia out to a fair margin now when we still have 3 chukkers to go after this one. That'll put them in. The ball's gone in, snapped out of there by Kelly Allen. Good take it was too. Ducks around the Australian defence, laid the racket back, looks up to find Kim Templeton. Pass went out, 1, 2. Easy as that. Goal number 3 for the Vicks. So as goal number 3 goes up on the board, so does the timer, and that's the end of the 3rd chukker with a scoreline that reads a fair margin out to the Aussies. 15 goals plays 3. Oh, yeah, that'd be right. I'll see him. Okay, as we ride on for the top of the 4th chukker, the Aussie boys, they're not mucking around. They're into an expensive lead out here. Yeah, over the Vic men's. Looks like we're going to line up slightly different to what we did last chukker. It'll be the number 1 for the Aussies will be Jimmy Grills. The number 2, Will Weston, and number 3, Abbott Grills. Now, Abbott is the captain, I might add. I was calling Lance Anderson the captain before, but no, it's that man in the number 3 position in Abbott Grills. As we line up for the Vicks, we've had a slight change there as well. We'll line up the number 1 in Elliot Avis, the number 2, Dan Pullier, and the number 3 will be Hamish Carlin. We have our umpire, Geordie Tate, with the ball. Timekeeper's ready, scorer's ready, umpire's ready, player's ready. The ball goes in, out the back it goes. It'll sit there for Abbott Grills, the captain of the Australian side. As he looks up, finds his number 1 in Jimmy Grills. And that South African throw, once again, that'll put goal number 16 on the board for the green and golds. So as easy as that, I'm pretty sure that goal was scored in 10 seconds. And we're playing 6-minute chukkers. It can happen as quick as that. As we're on the far side of the field, ball goes in. Bounce off the 2s. Elliot Davis plucked that one out of the air. Head for that goal line. Bounce, traps, shoots. Goal number 4 for the Vicks. So Elliot Avis doing his bit for the Victorians, trying to put them back in this game as we're early through the fourth chukker. So plenty of talk from the Victorian number 2, Dan Pulya. Starter's hands, ball's gone in, bounced off the ones. It'll sit down there for Grills. Yes, it will. No, the sharpshooter racket didn't want it. Ball's still on the ground. Out in front, Dan Pulya, no racket. Traffic congestion on the Westgate Freeway. Delays expected. The ball's gone on the ground, still there. No one wants it. The number 2 from Oz, he wants it. Finds his man out in space with a backhander, not even looking through. And it'll fall into the bracket of the sharpshooter, the number 1 in Jimmy Grills. Grills dodges around traffic, looks for the 30-yard line. Traffic coming through, indicated right, went left, found the space, and now he's got to step around the number 3 in Hamish Carlin. Carlin now looks to block the space. Can't stop that South African throw, which will put him on goal number 17, I do believe, scorers. 12-goal lead in favour of the Aussies. What a scrum. Ball went ground. The only man to come up with it was Will West, and the number 2 for the Aussies, what they needed. As the ball's gone in, it's gone way out the back. It'll sit there for that man in the green and gold shirt, Abbott Grills, the South African. Didn't quite come over then. As a hit down has been indicated by umpire Geordie Tate. As the over the top throw was attempted by Abbott Grills. Hamish Carlin looking to get a crack at it, hit down, so therefore it went into the way of the number 1, the goal scorer, Jimmy Grills. He sold some candy there and once again pulled out that South African manoeuvre and put goal number 18 on the board. So umpire Geordie Tate in the test match here at Ballarat 2019 throws it in, 4th chukker, midway through, ball's gone out the back, it's picked up there by Abbott Grills. That man in Abbott Grills looks up, finds his one, easy as that. Thank you very much, goal number 19. So the Victorians, they're not down and out yet. Plenty of talk there, but the combination of the 2 Grills fellas is too good in this chukker. The ball goes out the back. Abbott picks it up, heads south. The ball's gone in. Bounce off the 2s. It's gone groundward. Elliot Avis, full lick too. He wasn't drawing rain there at all. Says, that's what we wanted. And that's what they want again, is Elliot Avis with that true grit and determination, the gravel in his guts, the spit in the eye, and he was able to pull one back for the Blues. Goal number 5. So nice goal there by the number 1, Elliot Avis. Seen that ball, wanted it more than anyone. As we go back to the scorer's end of the field with umpire Geordie Tate, lines them up, bounce off the 2s, bounce off Weston. Avis didn't, Avis couldn't quite get it. But we have time off called as the pickup rider in Abbott Grills there, I think he might be multi-talented, as Will Weston taking a bit of a tumble off his horse, but he's a tough lad. He's back up and back into it. So we will just wait the umpire's call on that. I think that is I was talking about that gravel in his guts, just wanting the ball that much. He forgot where his horse was, and therefore he was eating that sacred turf they call the polocross field. And that'll put the ball in the racket of the number 3 for Australia in Abbott Grills. Now Abbott Grills takes a 10-yard throw from the spot, lobs it out to himself, collects, cops some sticks for his effort off Avis. Ducks behind the pack though, as he's looking to put it into Jimmy Grills, having a bit of trouble getting down to the area. It's that man in Abbott Grills, still in control, looking for a link up with his number 1. Look at the pass, long, flat, poetry in motion, as the Grills fellas start to really get it together. That pass was as flat as a pancake, and I'm pretty sure Grills didn't even have it in his racket yet, but he accepted it and threw it straight under the horse's neck, not crossing over the centre line of his horse, I might add. Beautiful goal there by the Australian side. Umpire Forbes puts it into all three players. Snapped out of there by Hamish Carlin, doing his bit. They're five goals on the board. Carlin looking to make it 6. But it's the man for the Vicks in the blue shirt. The number 3, pass went out, found Avis. Out on a nice little lead there. Looks to step around in Abbott Grills now. But it's Avis. Too good on this occasion. That'll put goal number 6 through the uprights for the Victorian side. 6 goals plays 20. So Vicks pull one back in the dying seconds of this fourth chukker for the men's. Ball goes in. It's gone way out the back this time. Way out, and I mean way out. It'll sit there, spoiled by the 3s. The 2s didn't want it. The 1, Elliot Avis, he's seen it for the Vicks. Hooks up. It's got nothing but a paddock in front of him. Through the bounce down, put it up, goal number 7. So the Vicks managed to sneak one through before the buzzer goes. That's the end of the fourth chukker, boys and girls. With the scoreline 20 goals plays 7. That is the official score. And I tell you what, the international visitors from New Zealand, they'd have to be parked up, studying their opposition in the Aussie side, looking at their strengths, looking at their weaknesses, as they plan to meet the Aussie side a little bit later on today. You stick around, you'll be able to see that one. The New Zealand folks and the Aussies go head-to-head a little bit later on today. But as for now, we have a very serious lead to the Aussie side. As we line up for the 5th chukker. They've changed. Yep. Suzette and Beth. Yep. Okay, as we ride back onto the field for the Vicks. They're trailing by a fair margin. They're not giving up the state. They're going to stay the same. Kim Templeton, Cass Milady and Kelly Allen up the front for the Aussies. Looks like we've had a change of heart. We're going to go with the number 1, Lauren Silito. The number 2, Suzette Thomas. The number 3, Beth Afey. Oh, the umpire, commentator will have that one. And it looks like the umpire's going to line them up to all 6 players once again. So the Vicks, they trail by a fair margin. They're not giving up, though. It'll go out the back, way out the back. It'll sit there for Kelly Allen. Didn't want it. Got an unkind bounce. Left the racket there and all. Better be Kim Templeton. Kim Templeton, the number 1 for the Vicks. She'll pick it up. Dances through traffic. Hard press there. She's got Suzette Thomas breathing right down on her. Cass Milady comes through. Takes one out of the equation. Makes it a one-on-one contest. The Vic girls, they're doing a nice job there as Kim Templeton dances her way through. Bounce went down. She went to run it. No, couldn't handle it. Dollies it back through. She's thrown it all the way. Oh, Cam won't let her forget about that one, I might add. As it'll be the number 3 in Beth Hafey. She picks it up, fires a pass through to the number 2, Suzette Thomas. And that ball will roll through as Suzette Thomas will set up in centre field. Nice bit of cover offered there by Beth Havey. Suzette Thomas, the number 2, puts a pass out to her number 1 in Lauren Silito, the goal scorer for the Aussies. They're up by a fair margin as the number 1, Lauren Silito, pokes her way through traffic, left and right, finds a 30-yard line. Nice bit of cover there offered by Beth Havey. Don't be fooled by that ball carry, ladies and gentlemen. A very handy operator, but the work was done in centre field by the number 3 in Beth Hafey, was able to keep Kelly Allen out of the picture, which allowed Silito to have a clear run straight through, 30-yard line, bounce, trap, shoot, goal. So, ball's being thrown in, far side of the field, the Vicks weren't even in it. But no, Kimmy Templeton, it's funny how it works out. There was one person lined up and somehow the Vicks have come up with it. They're down by a fair margin. They're only got 7 goals on the board. And I do believe Australia might have 21. But we're at the start, midway through the 5th chukker. That's the number 1 for Victoria in Kim Templeton. In control, gets her ponies out in front, puts Beth Hafey, the number 3 on the offside. Bounce went down, couldn't quite get it though. Will she pull the pony up in time? Yes, she will. That ball will sit there right in front of the goalpost. But it's Kim Templeton. Regathers, picks it up at the top of the D. Just do battle with Beth Hafey, the number 3 from Australia. It's Kim Templeton. Dances around the top right hand side of the area. In control. The goal scoring number 1. As she does the dance. Goes left, goes right. Shimmy left, fakes it. Oh, under the necks. Fires it through. That'll be goal number 8 for the Vicks. So somehow that just happened. The Vicks had one person in that lineup. I don't know if he's well watching, but you've seen it here. As Kim Templeton wasn't even in there, come through and just wanted that little bit more, and therefore that resulted in Kim Templeton doing her bit, which puts goal number 8 on the board for the Vicks. Starters' hands now. The 1s. The 2s, the 3s, they're there, and it'll bounce off the 2s. It'll go to Victoria's side. Sillito, she didn't want it. Cops a bit of congestion on the west gate for her efforts. It'll sit there for number 3 and Beth Hafey. Hafey, she comes up with it. I've only got one to deal with in between now and then. Looks up, finds the one in Sillito. Pass went out. Good pass it was too. And Sillito accepts nicely and put goal number 22 on the board for the Aussies. And what a fantastic pass that was by Beth Hafey. Looked up and found Sillito out in front like a good one should be. Thanks very much, Lukey Losberg, as adds to goal number 22 on the board for the Green and Golds. Far side of the field now, and umpire Forbes. Ball went in, snapped up the front there by Kim Templeton in control. Got a paddock in front of her, hard pressed by the 1, but not good enough as Kimmy Temp pulls another one back for the Vicks, which puts it goal number 9. 22 plays 9 in favour of the Green and Golds. Mid to late way through the 5th chukker. So all bounce goes in, bounces off the 1s, goes high and way out. Will it sit for Kelly Allen, the number 3? Yes, it will. She gathers her reins, cops a bit of stick for her efforts, drives into traffic. She's going to take him on, lays it back from Beth Hafey. Look at the pace by the bay horse, puts a stride out and finds Kimmy Templeton riding shotgun in the hot sun, and that'll be goal number 10. That'll be goal number 10 for the Vicks. They've hit double figures and Kelly Allen taking them all on. And the big bay horse, he can sure stretch out as she come from way back, which added to goal number 10. Far side of the field now, ball goes in. Look at the turn on the bay horse from Kelly Allen too. Got it on the second attempt, looks up, tops the stick once again, finds their number 1 in Kim Templeton. They're all out there together as a nice and easy over the 30-yard line. Pass went out, goal gets thrown. And that'll be goal number 11. The Vicks trail by 11 to the Aussies. So as the support comes through, the Vicks only down by 11 goals. We've still got another chukker to go after this. These Vic women starting to work it out and get the ball rolling. Ball's gone in, bounce off the 1s. It'll sit there for the 2s. No, it won't. It'll sit out in the front for the number 3, Beth Hafey. No, it won't. Yes, it will. She'll get on the second, third. No one wanted it, and no one will get it because that's the time. That's the end of the 5th chukker. Put your hands together, folks, because unless there's a playoff and a miracle comes through that these Victorian men's come out and show the Aussies how to play. They're 11 goals down. It's always a possibility, but it's not very high. That'll consist of the women's side from Victoria, Kim Templeton, Cassie Milady, and Kelly Allen. For the Aussie side, it'll be the number 1 was Beth Hafey. No, beg your pardon. The number 1 was Lauren Sillito. The number 2 was Suzette Thomas. The number 3 was Beth Hafey. And on the pine was Lucy Grills. As we welcome back to the field for the 6th and possibly the final chukker. They're leading by 11 goals. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the number 1, Jimmy Grills, the number 2, Abbott Grills, and the number 3, will be Lance Anderson. Riding on for the Victorians. They trail by 11, looking to put themselves back in this game. It'll be the number 1, Elliot Avis, the number 2, Dan Pullier, and the number 3 will be Sammy Cook. As we're looking to get things under... No, we've had a swap for the Vics, I say. We've had the number 2 will be played by Sam Cook, the number 3, Dan Pullier. So the ball's gone in, it's bounced off the 2s, went down the Aussie side, and just what they needed is Abbott Grills. He come up with a dangerous man in the middle in Abbott Grills. Put the long pass out to Lance Anderson. Speaking of long passes, and the long arms of Jimmy Grills there was able to get that pass off Lance Anderson. He threw it all at him. And it's Jim Grills as he throws the goal, but Dan Pullier just does a little bit of a fancy footwork there. And that little bay painting was too good for him on that occasion. Just turned that little bit too hard. And Dan just being unseated there, but he's all good. He's back on his feet and he's back on his horse. So that'll put goal number 23 through the uprights for the green and gold. Ball goes in from umpire Forbes. It's gone way out the back. It's gone out the back for the man on the chestnut pony in Lance Anderson. Gives us a 12 for his efforts. Spotted his number 1. Fought it through, straight through the front of the number 3. And that man Grills will put goal number 24. So the Vics trail by 13 goals, I think. Ball goes in, it's bounced off the 3s. It'll go out the back for that man Anderson. You look at him go, he's in fine form this weekend. Better than the last time I've seen him as he rolls through and sorts it straight through the uprights. 8 into Jim Grills' racket in that sharpshooter racket of Jimmy Grills. And that'll go for goal number 25. So the Vics, they may be getting outdone on the scoreboard, but they need to change it up. They need something to happen here if they want to keep themselves in it. Ball goes in. Neither of the 3s wanted it. Yes, he did. That man in the green and gold shirt in Anderson. You've seen him in action once, twice, 3 times. That'd be ball number 3 that he's cleaned up on. And that man, he dances around, shimmies left, shakes right. You fancy his moves, see him on the dance floor tonight. Biden in the Australian shirt. The man in Anderson. He picks up, gets around Dan Pullier. Pullier can't quite get a racket to it. Nice bit of number 2 work offered there by Abbott Grills. Long pass went out, and what a long pass it was, I might add, as Jimmy Grills sat there and took that ball, looking to put it through the uprights for goal number 26. But it's Jimmy Grills, left, right, South African, over the top, seen it once, twice, 3 times. That'll put goal number 26 on the boards for the green and golds. So there'll be more action on this Olympus horse feed field after this. Obviously a little bit delayed from a few incidents we had earlier. But last shaka of the test match between the Vics and the Aussies. Ball's gone in. Dan Pullier, the Vics number 3. He pulls one back as he picks it up. Looks to find his number 1, Elliot Avis, and his pal. Pass went out. Nicely taken there by Avis. Steps around Anderson. Left, right, no. Door slam shut. Anderson says, sorry, I'm not letting you have that one. But you can have that one as Elliot Avis calls a cucumber, rides her through, and will put goal number 12 on the board for the Vics. So they're a long way off the Aussies. And the fat lady hasn't sung yet, but I certainly think she's warming up. Far side of the field now with umpire Forbes. He puts it in. Ball's bounced off the 3s. It'll sit there for the 2. Sammy Cook, he can see it. No, he wasn't. Plenty of stuff. But look at Lance Anderson. He plucked it out of a thin air out there. Copped them all for his efforts. And I do believe a hit down has been indicated by umpire Geordie Tate. So the ball will fall in the racket. Once again, that racket, that sharpshooter racket of number 1 for Australia in Jim Forbes. Jim Forbes took the 10-yard throw. Couldn't handle the bounce though. where Dan Pullier, he capitalised, put the Hail Mary pass out to Sammy Cook. Sammy Cook on the baldy-faced pony. The Aussies, they've let him go. They've left him alone. Where it'll go there for Elliot Avis. Elliot Avis dodges Lance Anderson, does it nicely too, I might add, as he cops one for his efforts and say, go your hardest. So here you go there. But umpire Jimmy Forbes has said too far back for the swing, and that'll put a free goal in favour of the Vicks. So we line up with umpire Geordie Tate. Ball goes in, it's gone out the back. It'll fall there for the Vic, number 3, Dan Pullier. Lance Anderson, throw it all at him, including his racket. And it'll be the number 3 for the Vicks. They're not giving up just yet. The last little bit. Cups one for his efforts. 2. They're swinging it all at him. There's Dan Pullier, the number 3. Jimmy Grills, sorry. So he's losing his hand as his racket. The man not good enough. The long pass went out as the sneaky wood come from around the back. And that looks like it'll be a free shot on goal. Or just a time off called by umpire Jim Forbes there. I'm getting me Grillses and Forbeses mixed up here. So, I do believe the whistle was blown for a swing that was put on courtesy of Lance Anderson on the wrong side of his horse, aiming for Elliot Avis. However, in the meantime, Lance Anderson's saddle blanket might have slipped off. The Australian pit crew down there someone will be getting a talking to. Not that it makes too much difference, because we have get a peek into the mind of the great Jimmy Grills. Jimmy, you're out to a very extensive lead out here. I think you're up to 25 goals or so. What's the sharpshooter got left for the dying seconds?
Oh, how many seconds we got, brother?
Oh, I can't tell you that, but I'll tell you what. We'll see 30, and I want to see 3 of them. So the Aussie guys out here, they're really taking it to the Vic men's. They're not giving up just yet. As we just seen, the Vic boys pulled the last 3 on the Aussie fellas there. But I'd say the Aussie fellas out to a very extensive lead by how many goals is it, scorers? 26 goal lead. No, sorry, 26 goals, plays 13 is the official score. As we're in the last chukker of the Australian versus Victorian Test match. Okay, so we're back in action, dying seconds, last chukker. Australia versus Victoria. The number 1, Elliot Avis, he picks it up, plenty of pace on. He thinks, stuff it, I'll run it all myself. Finds Lance Anderson down here, casually bounces over the 30-yard line. Is he going to take that stick on once again? We've seen him throw 2 at him already. I'm not sure how confident he is about wearing the stick off Lance Anderson, but it's the young gun from Victoria, the number 1, Elliot Avis, says sneaky one straight under the neck of Lance Anderson, and that'll put goal number 14 on the board for the Vicks. 26 plays 14. So Elliot Avis, nice goal there by the young fellow on the chestnut horse, playing up the front for the Vicks in the last chukker. As they roll on, bounce off the 2s, it'll set there for the sharpshooter in Jimmy Grills, ball still in centre field. Elliot Avis, he comes up, cops plenty for his action too, and says that's what you get. As coming through was Dan Pullier, and it won't make any difference, ladies and gentlemen, because that's the end of the chukker. Put your hands together. The last time you'll see them for this game, that's the end of it. You'll see them all in action a little bit later on. Riding on for the Victorian men's with the number 1, Elliot Avis. The number 2 was Sam Cook. The number 3 was Dan Pullier. And on the bench was Hamish Carlin. For the Australian side, the run-out winners, the number 1 was Jimmy Grills. The number 2, Abbott Grills. And out the back on the chestnut pony, Lance Anderson. Someone take them. Look at it. So thanks very much to our umpires, Jimmy Forbes and Geordie Tate.